Hello everyone, the December review here. Yes, we do have some breaking news right off the top of this video. I'm not going to throw it out to our man on the street, Evan Evansley, because this is actually kind of a big deal. From Michael Patrick King, it appears that this current season of the show will in fact be its last. So after such an emotionally charged and decades-long storyline coming to an end in last week's episode, if you're wondering how they would follow that up, well, it's by announcing that the show is in fact coming to an end. Here's the official release from the series. And just like that, the ongoing storytelling of the Sex and the City universe is coming to an end. While I was writing the last episode of And Just Like That Season 3, it became clear to me that this might be a wonderful place to stop. Along with Sarah Jessica Parker, Casey Bloys, and Sarah Aubrey, we decided to end the popular series this year with a two-part finale and extend the original series order from 10 episodes to 12. Sarah Jessica Parker and I held off announcing the news until now because we didn't want the word final to overshadow the fun of watching the season. It's with great gratitude we thank all the viewers who have let these characters into their homes and their hearts over these many years. Many years is very true. It's been 27 years in fact since the series debut, with 6 original SATC seasons, 2 movies, 2 prequel seasons, and now 3 AJLT seasons. This 3-decade story has certainly left its mark. I find the news to be rather sad. I mean, just from an entertainment perspective, I enjoy the series. As the years have piled up, you can get pretty invested in these characters along the way. SATC was a groundbreaking show, showcasing the lives of friends in Manhattan with distinct personalities. It was easy to find someone to relate to, and through the craziness of the series, it always came back to the friendship of the core cast. Then of course, from making these videos, I kind of stumbled into the AJLT video universe a bit. When season 1 came out, I was planning on just doing a review on the first 2 episodes, then following that up when the season was over. Well, needless to say, 4 years later, an AJLT has been a channel gift, which I am very grateful for. The show was never perfect, nor was SATC. It's easy to find fault in things and even easier to voice them. The one thing, though, for me has always been that the series was created out of love for the characters and history of the show. It's always been a genuine continuation for the cast who wanted to participate, and to that end I always felt that it's been a worthy follow-up to the original. I may not have liked every decision a character made, but that's the same for any show that I've watched. If that precluded viewing a series, I wouldn't need a TV anymore. But with all that said, we did have an actual episode this week. It's the 10th in the series, with those last 2 now overshadowing everything. It almost seems like an afterthought, but here we go. After last week's Big Aiden split, we are thrown into the future in what I would say is about 3 months or so-ish. Carrie has a voiceover as we change seasons, and she gives an emotional wrap-up regarding Aiden through her book. She and Duncan have been ramping up their book writing sessions and have upgraded to Carrie's apartment. After 2 such sessions on screen, Duncan ends up asking Carrie if she would attend a publishing party with him. Meanwhile, Miranda and Steve are back together at her apartment, where Brady has made dinner, announced he has decided to go to culinary college, and, oh yeah, got someone pregnant who he really doesn't know that well, and Steve flies off the handle. Outside of his breakup with Miranda, I can't ever remember seeing Steve so upset. He really doesn't hold back. For his part, Brady reminds Steve of his own reality before fleeing the apartment. To make matters worse, Miranda and Charlotte go incognito to meet Brady's friend, which of course doesn't go well. And the yelling didn't stop there, as Lisa Todd goes berserk after their pet guinea pig is lost somewhere inside the house. Things settle down after a rather genuine moment from Herbert. It's great writing in that moment. But then Herbert's day doesn't end well when it turns out that he has lost the comptroller race that he was running in. And meanwhile, Charlotte tries unsuccessfully to attend an online spiritual cleansing due to the chaos at her home. She eventually heads over to Carrie's place to finish after rescheduling, and she eventually breaks down, letting go of some of the emotions that she's been holding on to since Harry got sick. It's another quick but well-written and acted moment in this episode. And meanwhile, Anthony ends up having to stay over at Giuseppe's apartment for a spell after a gas leak in his building. Anthony isn't too keen on his roommate and asks Giuseppe to finally move in with him. And meanwhile, Seema is over at Adam's place for the first time. She's impressed with the well-fashioned home until Adam says that most of the items were from his mother, who passed away when he was younger. At first she feels like this will be Adam's undoing, as she is always trying to find fault in her relationship, so she never really has to get too close. I thought her mentioning this issue to Carrie was a nice narrative callback for the character. But then one night Seema's having a smoke at Adam's place and ends up accidentally tossing a portion of an ivy plant out of a window she was trying to open. And this wasn't just some random plant, no. It was Adam's mom. Well, she brought it to life decades ago and it's flourished. Adam sees it as more than just a symbol, but a living example of his mother. So Seema is horrified at what happened. She stops taking his calls and texts until he finally just shows up at her firm. He's not upset, in fact, quite the opposite. He was able to save portions of the ivy, which now sit throughout Seema's desk area. And this whole thing really hit home for me. It's all a bit coincidental, really, in a random spiritual way. I lost my mother years ago, probably around the same age as Adam. We also had a similar ivy plant my mom would take care of among her other plants. A few years after she passed, I was gifted a small ivy plant, which turned out to be saved from my mother's original one. And at the time, I didn't have Adam's green thumb, so it unfortunately didn't make it. But I must say, seeing this play out on the screen was quite emotional for me. Seema was ready to call it quits, and Adam really stepped up at her firm. This was the third example of excellent writing in this episode. And this whole thing wraps up with Carrie going to that party with Duncan. We meet his ex-wife, who turns out to be his publisher. He is also way behind his book deadline. He is also going back to England soon and not returning to New York. Bonus points for Carrie's entrance to the party, matching the beat of the music that was being played. Very well done. So naturally, Carrie and Duncan hook up afterwards. Seemingly no strings attached. Duncan says that he has spent so much time living inside his biography worlds that he forgot about his own living one in regards to the time spent writing with Carrie. Carrie appreciated Duncan seeing her as a writer first and foremost. It wasn't about anything else until this episode. He respected her writing, her thoughts, and that was something that really meant a lot to her. While I appreciated this episode having Carrie and Duncan together, I didn't think was exactly necessary. Well, it could have been, but it all felt a bit forced to me. Up until now, there really hasn't been much of a romantic chemistry between them. Sure, Aiden had his doubts and Miranda brought it up as well. Both things that she confided to Charlotte about this week as she reflected on what Duncan means. But on screen, she was devoted to Aiden the entire time. In the first official episode with him out of the picture, we fast forward a few months in the first 2 minutes and now she has feelings for Duncan. And they're almost married by the end of it all. I'm kidding about that last part, but it's a bit similar to some of Aiden's mannerisms this season. Sometimes things just seemed a bit out of the blue. There's a lot of characters who all have different narratives, so being able to really develop some relationships, it may get a bit shortchanged by time constraints. So instead we get this, which is fine, it just didn't seem needed. I assume this means that Duncan is gone now as well. 2 weeks and the two main Carrie narratives are done. And now there are just these last 2 episodes to go until it's all done for good. This whole thing, it just upsets me. Well, that's all I got for this week. It's time to regroup and settle in for the final run. How would this all conclude for our 3-decade-long set of friends? And will a certain person currently living in the UK help close this all out? I couldn't help but wonder. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks.